Welcome to another episode of Gracias Come Again. Today we're sitting down with Dave East. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I need that energy. I feel like you just woke up or something.
No. I've been up.
You been up?
Yeah, I've been up.
You got the groggy face?
I've been up.
We're recording live from New York City. And, we're wrapping up the season. We had a couple of interviews left. And I was like, you know what? I need to sit down with Dave East. Because every time the conversation comes up about Latinos and hip-hop, and people want to tell me we're not it, I'll be like, well, Dave East, hello. Once I do my list, you're always on the list of,
That's fire.
Latinos holding it down right now for hip-hop. So I was like, you know what? We need to sit down.
Fire.
But before we get into that, let's bring it back to the beginning. Born and raised in Harlem?
East Side, First Avenue.
Mom, Dominicana?
Her father is Dominican.
Okay.
Her mother's Creole.
I saw that because I wrote Creole in parentheses. And then father, African-American?
Now, my dad is Bajan, Barbados.
Okay. So you're Caribbean.
OD. Yeah.
I like that. Now, mom, dad, both here in New York?
Yeah.
Okay. They met here?
They met in Louisiana. My mother's from down there.
And that's where you used to spend time with your tia, with your aunt?
Yeah, my grandmother, my aunt. So all my mother's side is down there.
How identified do you feel with Dominican? I know you have a Dominican tattoo. Your neck? Flat? Where's that at? Let me see.
One of these sides. I can't.
I think it's that one. I think it's the one you're touching on this side. How connected do you feel to your Dominican roots, being that it's not like, let's say 100% or 50%?
Right.
How did
I love it. I feel like I feel like it's always been a part of me. I feel like just the culture, the response I've gotten since I've gotten to the music. You know what I mean? I love it.
And we love you. We claim you. When we talk about
dope.
Dominicanos, we always say, and don't forget to put Dave East on the list.
Yeah, that's fire.
Now, have you visited Dominican Republic?
1,000 times.
1,000 times?
1,000 times.
What does that tell me? You enjoy it
like
there.
That's a little, you know what I mean? Little getaway, get out the city.
So you use it kind of like an escape vacation?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Has your daughter been there?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Your daughter. I feel like your daughter
Kyrie,
is your world.
I got three daughters.
You have several children, yeah.
Yeah, I got Kyrie, her birthday just passed. We actually went to Puerto Rico because her mother's Puerto Rican, so that was the first time I was able to take them like that. But that was fire. But yeah, the islands has a very major part of me and just my reflection and just time to to zone out away from everything.
So, it's very different from being, let's say, Harlem or being, because you're very outside here in New York. So I can only imagine going back to the islands, you get to disconnect, you get to reflect.
Right, 100%. And the weather. Can't beat the weather ever.
The beaches.
You know what I mean?
It's just a totally different vibe. Do you still feel like Dave East when you're there, or do you feel like that side of you? Can you disconnect the two still?
I feel like once I get to like the resort or the villa or wherever I'm staying at, I'm good. But the airport, stuff like that,
I can imagine.
Yeah, they spot me. Yeah.
It's still people like trying to come up to you.
Yeah.
Do you feel
they
like
don't care if I'm with the family, none of that.
Oh no. It's weird because some celebrities, they don't like taking pictures with fans.
Right.
And
I don't mind it. This is my thing with that, not to cut you off.
No, okay.
I think because I'm a fan myself of certain people. You know what I mean? And I feel like to each his own, but you got to be able to see the vibe of the person before you just run down with your camera out. You know what I mean? Somebody could be with their grandmother, their mother, their kids.
Bad Bunny said.
You know what I mean? But I feel like without that reaction, who are you? You know what I mean? Like what was you working for? Or you kind of signed up for that. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't really knock it. I take as many pictures as I can with people that run into me. But yeah, I think just read the room sometimes. Like, you know
I feel like people just get overly excited, especially
Right.
if they're like a fan.
Right.
It's like, when was I gonna be in your space?
yeah.
I feel like they get tripped up.
And they don't know when they're going to see you again, so I get it. I
Like
understand.
being in your space is just like, when am I ever gonna see this person ever again?
I get
Never.
it.
So they get hyped. Do you feel like I was watching a documentary, Anita? You know Anita, the Brazilian superstar. She has two totally different personalities and persona. Like when she's home, she turns into a different person. Are you Dave East turned on at all times?
I don't know. I don't really. I feel like I'm the same. I feel like Dave East is a name, like the name people know.
Well, I mean the artist itself.
Yeah, but I don't feel like it's a turn on or turn off. Now, if I'm home, I'm on.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm on dad mode.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't got my jewelry on. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm chilling in the crib. But I feel like I don't really have to turn on no type of like no mode or nothing. Like, oh, I'm Dave East now, and now I'm not. Like, I feel like what you see with me is what you get. I'm the same.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I ask that is because, she's such a global phenomenon, and she struggles so much with this Anita persona that she created. Right. She feels like it's not her in any way, shape, or form. And when she's home and when she's with family, she's a totally different person.
Right.
And I was like, I wonder if it's like that for all artists. Like, damn.
You kind of got to be. I think, once you step outside, the cameras is on you. You know what I mean? You kind of got to, tighten up. The eyes is on you. But I don't feel like it's a totally different persona or a different person or nothing like that. I think it's just knowing where you at and understanding who you are. You know what I mean? And being at home, you can let all that go. You know what I mean?
What do your kids feel about you? Do they be like, Dad,
Yeah, they love it.
Davey. They put on your videos. Like, do any of them want to also be an artist? Like, do they say, Dad, I want to do this too, just like you?
Kobe, my 4-year-old, she that's my little rap partner. Like,
she got the buzz?
She be on YouTube, like looking it up. She like to dance, sing, she already got that like naturally just in her. So I would say probably her.
She be performing for you?
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Every day she got a new song, a new dance. She trying to show me something every day.
She's like, Dad, sit down. I got a new song for you.
I love it.
Do you live with all your children or?
100%.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that side of you. That's the only reason I asked. And it's all girls?
Where they gonna live at? They better live with me.
Well, listen, I don't understand. If you've had multiple relationships, some kids live with one mom, another kid lives with another mom.
They all same mom.
Oh, they're all with the same mother. Oh, that's beautiful. God bless. That makes me so happy.
I don't need them problems.
Well, you're a rapper at the end of the day, so.
See.
I'm stereotyping you here.
That's that stereotype.
I'm stereotyping you here. Can you blame me, though?
Not at all. It's been enough of that I've seen it myself. But, all the same mother. All it together.
Beautiful.
Eat breakfast together, lunch, dinner, all of that.
God bless. I know that at the beginning of your career, you kind of like, shared on social media. Do you regret ever like putting kind of like your personal life on social media?
1,000%, because you can't. It's there.
You can't dial it back.
It's there. Even if you move on from it or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and that 9 times out of 10 that happens with life. You think it'd be something so major in the moment, and then 2 weeks later, you know what I mean? Like, life go back to normal. And I feel like when you vent to the internet, that ain't the place to vent. You know what I mean? So I definitely made that mistake early on. I haven't done it since, but
it was a one and done. It was just like, what am I doing?
Because I didn't, I didn't understand at that time the power of the internet. Like, you know what I mean? I know I had a fan base and shit like that, but
this was early in your career because I remember that it's kind of like when I first
it was super early.
Found out about you, and I was like, what's going on here? But it makes me so happy to know that all your children are with. Is that your day one? Mm-hmm. Yeah, high school.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
He's like, not that early on in the game.
That's bad early.
I don't know, because you got people like LL and, you got people like Method Man, you know what I'm saying? That they've been with their lady for like 20, 30 years.
That's super fire. I think that's rare. But, yeah, that's dope. I think that's dope when you can rock with somebody that long.
Do you feel like that's a thing? Like when artists work together right away, people want to like romanticize things and be like, oh, they're a couple?
It's the internet. I give it all to the net. You know what I mean? I feel like just taking a picture with somebody, you know what I mean? It could stir up whatever.
Does it bother your significant other?
I'm sure it do. Like, I don't, I'm not.
Because she's not an artist. Nah. So she's at home.
Yeah.
She's holding it down. She's with the kids. Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is annoying. Mm-hmm. What is it?
I'm sure it is. But at the end of the day, it's what I signed up for. You know what I mean? I got into this, 2015, 16, something like that. So it's almost a decade.
I wrote 2010. Why did I write 2010?
I don't know.
I was on Apple Music, and I feel like they have a project there from like
2011.
2011?
I did a mixtape called Change of Plans, I believe. Yeah, Change of Plans, my first mixtape.
And that's there. It's on Apple Music. How many studio albums do you have? Because this Apple Music has like even like 3 projects in 1 year. They have everything there, like all your mixtapes. Is that what it is?
I don't even know what they got out.
Because I'm like, yo, he's been busy, and you've been putting out music consistently every single year.
Mm-hmm. I do music. I feel like if that's what you do, you should put out, you should release music. You should drop content.
How many hours a week do you feel like you work on music?
Hours a week?
Yeah, like, are you locked in? Let's say, like, do you have a schedule for music, or it's just when it hits you? Like, yo, I want to go to the studio, and you're locked in.
Yeah, with me, it's like spontaneous. 7 days in a week, I would probably say I'm in the studio at least 4 or 5 nights out the week. If I'm home, like if I'm on the road or I'm ripping and running, and I'm still in the studio if I'm on the road, but like my home base studio in New York, probably 4 or 5 days out the week.
Now let's talk about currently. What are you working on?
Right now, so I just dropped a project with my brother Ransom. It's called The Final Call. Yeah, that's doing real good right now. I got another project, probably I want to say before the summer, with my brothers Buddha and Grands.
Another album?
Yeah, it's a part 2 of a tape I did a few years ago called Book of David.
I remember that.
We're doing part 2 to that. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's coming before the summer. I got a few projects this year. I'm indie now, so I could kind of
maneuver better.
I could drop music.
How do you feel about being indie? Do you feel like relieved? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I no knock to Mass Appeal or Def Jam. They was both home base for me. But yeah, I just feel like, you know, I'm very creative. I'm really like the type of person that I don't spend too much time on something after I did it. You know what I mean? So
like you hand it in and that's it?
We on to the next. Let's you know what I mean? Like I got more to talk about. More.
So when people are like, change this, rearrange that, or I don't like the way it kind of like bugs you because it's
no, not even that. See, with that is like I don't. If you wasn't around me making it or really invested in the project, your opinion not gonna really, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna really move me no kind of way. But if you was there, like, you know what I mean? Both of them labels had certain people that would come to the studio and really see what I was working on, like, you know what I mean? So they could always have an opinion on what I was doing. Word.
Now, I don't know how many times you've spoken about this, but I want to talk about it. Nas. How did you two link? How did he find out you existed?
So my aunt, God bless her soul, my aunt Barbara, she lived in Ravenswood projects in Queens. And Queensbridge is the next projects up the block. So I would be in the bridge. I stayed with her till she passed, and then I lived there with my cousin. And I would be in the bridge every day, get my hair cut, Jamaican food, the liquor store. Everything was in the bridge.
Regular shit we do here in New York.
You know what I mean? So I would see Jungle, his brother. I would see Jungle in the hood chilling. I'd be looking like, yo, that's Jungle, that's crazy. But he was mad cool. And he would holler at me, oh, he's. And
you were already rapping at the time?
Yeah, but I was just doing like little freestyles, and like I might have had a mixtape or 2 out. But it was just like in the hood. I was just putting stuff out, rapping on certain beats that was already out. So it was like, you know what I mean? People was talking about it like, yo, he's kind of fire, like, you know what I'm saying? So I got really locked in with Jungle, just being in Queensbridge all the time. And from there, I would just give him all my music, like whatever I was working on. If I shot a new video, I'd be like, yo, Jungle, check this out. And it went from that to him telling me he played it, his brother was feeling it. I'm like, your brother?
Your brother Nas.
I only know you to have one brother, like, you know what I'm saying? It was Nas, you know what I mean? So from there, Nas reached out, we spoke, we linked up in New York. I think he had like a some kind of reunion. I think it was for Illmatic or something like that, like a 20-year, 25-year reunion. That's where I first met him. And then from then on, it was on.
Did you feel like you had to work extra hard because you came in the door, you know, kind of like with that Nas cosign, which gave us here in New York big expectations for you? Did you feel pressure like, yo, I got to kill this. I got to be so dope. I got to live up to the hype? Because there was a lot of hype around that.
Yeah, kind of. But I feel like the era was so different. You know what I mean? Like the era where he was really, you know what I mean? One of them, probably the top, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it changed so crazy from then to when I came in, where it wasn't really like I put pressure on myself like telling myself what was going on and, you know what I mean, who he was to the game and just to the culture of hip hop, you know what I mean?
It was huge. When you came out and, you were aligned with Nas, we were like, yo.
Right.
He's getting a Nas co-sign. This is a big deal.
Right.
This guy is nice. So I was like, yo, I wonder.
I was thankful for that. That changed. I got out the projects with that, with a shout out. Like, what? We out of here. But nah, I'm forever in debt to him because, like I said, he changed my life. He showed me something different. Yeah, big shout out to Esco, man.
When you say he showed you something different, are you talking like business or what?
Just how he move.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just me seeing different rappers and, you know what I mean? Just people how he moved. Like, it always kind of gave me like a balance. Like, I'm kind of rather move like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always feel like he was like just the right image of how to move in the game for me coming in. You know what I'm saying?
And it don't get no better than that. Like, honestly, to have what we would call un padrino, like for it to be Nas, it's like, what the fuck? How did I get here?
I think it definitely set a certain standard for me as far as my name and people know who I am all over the world because he's a global, you know what I mean? He's a global artist, so yeah, I think that was definitely the right way to come in.
Listen, when you came through with that co-sign, we're like, this the guy.
Right.
And it's been what, 10 years now?
Yeah, I think that was 2014, 15. Mm-hmm.
Now, if Davies wasn't a rapper, what would Davies be?
What would I be?
Yeah, occupation-wise. A pilot? A firefighter?
Pilot? I don't.
Scared of heights?
I go to sleep when I get on the plane.
Scared of heights?
I don't even like looking.
I saw it right away. I said he cringed. No.
I don't think I'm scared of heights. It's just like I feel like you ain't got no control up there. Like once you that high, it's like it's up to God. You know what I mean?
Listen, God, my life is in your hands.
Yeah, like it ain't. I damn sure don't want to be looking at the plane. But I would say, I don't know. I think I would maybe have something to do with music, maybe behind the scenes or something like that. Definitely the acting world. I would be behind the scenes with that. I think. But other than that, I probably would have been like a coach. Basketball, yeah. I probably would have got with the kids, did like AAU programs, and stuff like that. Cause I still love the game. That was my first love. So I think I would do something like that. I got enough knowledge in basketball to pass it on. You know what I mean?
I saw a picture on your page, and it was like Fashion Week, and you were looking at a picture of Kobe and Gigi, and I was like, I wonder how connected he feels, being, that you have your daughters and, being a basketball player. Was he your favorite player, or who was your favorite basketball player?
My favorite player, Jordan.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
You're so young that it's got to be somebody younger.
Yeah, Mike. I'm 36, so that was that. I'm from the Jordan era.
You were a little kid though.
But yeah, I was young. I would say after Mike, Kobe. And for me personally, like high school, my favorite players was Melo. Carmelo was my favorite player in high school.
Yeah, New York, Melo was a big ass deal
he
here.
Was
in
at
New York.
Syracuse, or like that Melo. Like yeah, that was my high school trying to go to college inspiration at that time.
LeBron,
one of my favorites of all time too.
I said, come on, you gonna leave LeBron off?
No, I ain't never knocking Braun.
No, I didn't say knock him. I said left him off.
That's Braun. I'm just, that I'm just saying who at the time who was really inspiring me. You know what I mean?
When did you start playing ball? Yeah, like you were a child and you pick up your first basketball, or
my pop said he brought a basketball to the hospital.
When you were born? Oh, he put it in the.
That was my pops. I mean, it became my dream, but that was his thing. Like my nephew right now, my sister's son, he in the league. He just got drafted to Chicago. Yeah, Jameer Young.
So you guys.
So my pops is like, he said, somebody got there. Like, you know.
Come on, pops, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, of course, he's proud of what I did, what I turned out to be.
Yeah.
But that my family was basketball, like that. You know what I mean? That's all. When certain games would come on, it'd be silent in the crib. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was
a ritual for you.
We'd be into the game. Yeah, so that was my up until it didn't work out. You know what I mean?
How did your father feel when you decided to pivot from playing ball to being an artist?
I got in some trouble, so that was the initial pivot. Like I didn't just say I'm not gonna play ball no more. I'm about to rap.
I just kind of like
Yeah, it ain't go like that. You know what I mean? I don't really get into details.
We don't have to.
I told that story, but I got in a little trouble, and after that it was kind of over as far as like my scholarship, staying on the campus, all of that. I kind of got the boot, so I had to come back to the drawing board, like, man, what I'm gonna do? And it gotta be something that I know I'm gonna enjoy. I'm really not and I don't knock nobody with great jobs and stuff like that, but
we gotta work. Listen, we gotta support our families. We can't all be rappers and we can't all be ballers.
I never will knock that.
You better not. Don't do that.
It make the world go round, you heard? But me personally, David, I just couldn't see me doing it for a long time and enjoying it. You know what I mean? Like working for somebody or just that. I just was like, nah, I can't do that. So I really, and I never knew rap was gonna work. You get what I'm saying? Like that wasn't something that was like, yeah, if you do this long, you're gonna get on. Like I had no idea the Nas thing. I had no idea none of that was gonna happen. But I really just buckled down for a good 2 years, maybe 3 years, and was broke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I really didn't lead a hood. I just had a little studio set up. And just that's all I was on. And I used to tell the homies, like, I ain't going to no club.
You're focused.
That I gotta wait on the line, or they gonna tell me to take my hat off, or I got the wrong shoes. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm watching the rapper hop out and just moonwalk through the line with whatever he wanna wear. I'm like, nah, I ain't going to the club till I could do it like that.
You don't like authority?
It paid off. Nah, I always had a problem with authority.
I can tell.
From school.
Why
is you telling me this? Like, you ain't my mom, my pop. What gives you the authority to feel like you can tell me? You know what I mean? I always felt like that. And that's a bad attitude to have. I'm not promoting that attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Which one of your kids is like that? It's got to be one of them that don't like to be told what to do.
The 4-year-old, yeah, that's the rebellious one. Like,
you gonna pay them all back with Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe, man. She the one, like, if I tell her something, she'll give me the face already like she didn't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. Then she'll go ask her moms. You feel me? And then she'll.
What she be saying? Do I really gotta do what he said?
Nah, she'll go ask her moms the same thing she asked me, like she didn't ask me.
Oh.
And her mom's like, all right, bet. Like, might tell her, all right, cool. And I'm like, Kobe, what are you doing? Well, mommy, this shit. I'm like, yo, but what I told you first. Like, so I go through that with her. And she 4, so I pray for me. Pray for me,
you
man.
gotta pay back one way or another, day.
Pray for me.
Did you ever have a regular job?
I did. I worked at a McDonald's.
Teen?
Yeah, I was probably 17, 18, something like that.
You ain't want to be told what to do?
I worked there for 2 weeks.
And you didn't want to be told what to do?
I hated that. I think I quit after my first check. I think I got a check and I was I'm good on that.
You was like, peace.
I used to get mad free McDonald's. And then the other job I had was Equinox, the gym.
Oh, the gym.
What's that, 54th?
That makes
2nd
sense.
Avenue. I worked at the gym. But I wasn't a trainer. I was in there with the squeegee.
You was cleaning up the gym?
Cleaning the mirror.
For the people with the money?
My little break hour, I would get a break, I could work out. You know what I'm saying? So I get my little workout. But yeah, my man, shouts to my bro Atlas, man. That was rough times for me. I was like, yo, I need a job. For real right now. He said, all right, come, you got to put on a suit or whatever, get dressed. You got to go meet this, that, and the third. So if you show up with a smile on your face and you know what I'm saying, you're going to get the job. I said, I bet. Got the job, and the first day at work, they assigned me to some, this little short guy. I forgot his name, bro.
It's okay.
Forgot his name, you know what I'm saying? But shouts to him, because I was telling him every day on my shift, like, yo, I'm about to do this rap shit. Like, I ain't gonna be in here cleaning these mirrors with you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just give me a minute, and you're gonna see me on TV.
I ain't about to do this too long. He'd be like, yeah, all right, go over there and get that, clean that. I'm like, I bet.
I bet you he looks at it now. He's like,
I wish I could bump into him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
he did.
That was a long time ago.
He did
Equinox. They was paying me out over there too. I worked there a few checks, and then I think I got a show. I think I got like a offer to do like a Webster Hall.
That's a big bag.
SOBs or something, but it was like a
showcase,
like a Who's Next type of showcase. You know what I mean? And from that day on, I ain't going back to work. I think this rap shit I think this is what I'm about to do. I got a show. Let me do this, and I quit.
Now, what do you think is one of the biggest myths about being a celebrity? Like, what is the total lie when it comes to like you as an artist?
We not normal people. We're like something that should be like praised, or like I don't think no human being should be praised or
idolized.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's dope to be motivated by somebody. It's dope to be inspired by somebody, but
is it kind of like a turn off? Like when people be like, "Yo, I idolize you. I'm obsessed with you."
Not even that. I think it's more like what I don't be liking is like oh you doing that because you're a rap. That's some rap. You know what I mean? Like what? I'm a normal person. Like everybody got the same 24 hours. Nobody was born. I mean, unless you was born a celebrity. Some people was born.
Oh yeah, you have the nepo babies.
You get what I'm saying? As soon as they come out the womb, they famous. You know what I mean? But anybody that had to work and didn't reach any type of fame until their 20s or their 30s, you know what I mean? Like that's normal people that just had a goal that they stuck to. Like you know what I'm saying? And it worked out.
Focus and consistency. That's the only way to make it. Now, do you feel like rappers really have the hardest job, as your boy Jim Jones put out there?
In a way.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah,
Break it down for me.
It depends on the type of rapper you are. It depends on your crowd. I think all that plays a part. Because you got some rappers they ain't going to ever have no problems or run into no problems just because of the type of music they make or the crowd that they create. It's not going to be it's not a negative space.
Let's say like Tyler, the Creator. Kids love him. He's squeaky clean.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Tyler. Tyler is dope. Yeah, Tyler.
But when you
dope.
say like the environment they create, I think flowers. It's positive. So you think
you're not thinking drama or negativity with his music. Like you know what I'm saying. So that I think that plays a part. It's dangerous. I think it's a very dangerous job if that's the type of music you make, or if that's the crowd you surround yourself with, or if that's the spaces you in. Yeah, real dangerous. Because I feel like everybody think they could do it for one. I feel like a lot of people feel like they could just wake up and rap.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Because
it does seem that easy. You know what I mean? I don't knock that, but it do take work. You know what I mean? Even if it seemed that way, it does actually take work. And I think that part of it gets taken for granted.
It's craft.
You know what I mean? Because you're in the club bumping shoulders with, you know what I mean? So I feel like that part of it gets taken for granted. That you're actually working and it's actually is a job. Like, you know what I mean?
Now, I feel like you're always outside.
Me? I'll be outside a lot.
Like, how safe do you feel? Like, as a celebrity, a lot of celebrities, you don't see them. Mm-hmm. They're not in the street. You can't bump into them. How safe do you feel, like, in Harlem? You feel like the love is real? Like, you don't feel like your life can be, taken from you at any point?
I take everything with a, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I was just raised like that. I feel like a lot of artists probably wasn't in the street before fame. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I really didn't change my you know what I mean? I'm more conscious now of knowing who I am, type of calm and what I got on. I get all of that. But now I feel like you can never be too on point. You get what I'm saying? Because it could come in the form of love. But yeah, I was just always taught, keep your eyes open, man. Keep your head on a swivel. You know what I mean? Don't really trust. Don't trust. You get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I feel you.
That's my whole thing. If it's my time, or if I'm in that wrong place, wrong time, then I guess that's what that was. That was for me. But I don't try to put myself in them predicaments. Or if I feel, I go with my gut. You know what I mean? A lot of times if I feel something funny, or if I see somebody moving funny, I'll react to it. Let me get up out of here. Or I put somebody on. Like, you see, I mean, like I'm just, I try to watch my surroundings all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Word.
Now you're a man of God, religious. How did you find religion? You're Muslim, correct?
Yeah.
Your father was Muslim, or did you find this on your own?
My father wasn't. I was born Catholic.
Okay.
I did catechism. I went to Catholic school. I did all of that as a kid. With me, I was around a lot of guys. Like my big bro Bully, his family is Muslim. When I was I was in Baltimore for a while. So a lot of the people I was around were born Muslim. You know what I mean? And I would be around them and just, you know what I mean? Just the discipline they had, the habits. Just, you know what I mean? I was kind of moved by that in my later teens. And going back to when I was in a little trouble. I'm gonna just leave it at, you know what I mean? I was in a little trouble.
In college.
Yeah,
Again.
I was on a little vacation.
Okay.
um,
Is that when
the brothers in there, you know what I mean? Like
did they hand
really,
you the Quran? Like, how did you end up?
I was watching them pray.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I would just watch the mannerisms and just how they carried their day. And I asked the brother about it. You know what I mean? He told me what he knew about it. And I was just I don't know. It caught me. Honestly, I'm gonna just keep it real. It caught me. It was something I was interested in, something I wanted to read more on. And then when I came back from vacation, I got it with my initial manager, Wayno. Shouts to Wayno. He's Muslim, and he took me to take my shahada in the Bronx. And from then on, you know what I mean? I feel like I don't know. I feel like I was enlightened on my own terms with that. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing that nobody forced on me.
Is it something you practice at home?
Yeah. But it wasn't nothing that was forced on me or somebody made me do. You know what I mean? It was a decision I made on my own.
Yeah. Malcolm X, is he one of your role models?
Malcolm, yeah. Hell yeah.
What's the connection there? What do you see in Malcolm that
he was just rebellious? I've been a rebellious person my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody going right, let's go left. Like I always been like that. But yeah, and he passed way before I was even born. But just the documentation that's out on him, yeah, he definitely inspired me. You know what I mean? And just his will to stand on what he believed in. Like I feel like a lot of people believe in stuff, but they gonna whisper it.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Or they going.
He said, "Give me a microphone."
You get what I mean? Like he was ready to die behind how he felt. I think that's people like that don't even probably exist like that. You know what I mean?
Honorable,
I don't think
a
that
man
exists.
of his word, And he stood up for his people, and he said, regardless of how my life ends,
right,
I did what was right.
Right.
And it was a time when we needed people like Malcolm X.
100%.
It's like, the civil rights, movement had a lot of people, but he was just on a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, this is not about me. This is about everybody else.
Right. That's the ones they killed him. I feel like them type of people come and go. They time on earth be real short. But they legacy be
forever.
You know what I mean? Like, word.
Now, Method Man, how did you end up playing Method? You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
I watched it through and through, and I was like, yo, they did good casting here. Did you go to a regular casting, or did somebody say, oh, Davies has got to play Method Man? How did that go?
Nah, shouts to my bro Set Free, first and foremost. He linked me with Chris Robinson, heavyweight. You know what I mean? I said he's a if you know, you know. Like, you know what I mean? He's a giant in this culture. But shouts to Chris Robinson and Set Free. I did a movie called Beats with Chris Robinson. We filmed it in Chicago. That was my first movie. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is fire. I enjoyed it. I was with Anthony Anderson is the star of that movie. So he's a legend. You know what I mean? He's in a lot of my favorite movies. So to be on the set with him, it kind of made it easier for me for my first, you know what I mean, time on the camera like that. So from that film, Chris Robinson, after that came out, I think it's still on Netflix. Go check that out if you ain't seen that. But I think after that came out, Chris Robinson reached out and was like, "Yo, we working on a Wu-Tang. I think he said a movie at first. I don't know if he said a series. Whatever, it was a series or a movie, he said. And he was like, would you play Method Man? He just asked me that. I'm like, hell yeah, I play meth. That's like one of my idols. Like I grew up on meth. He was like, all right, I'm gonna get back to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? The next call was like, yo, you gotta go audition. I still had to do the official audition and all that. I think I auditioned twice for that. Yeah, one time they had to get me on camera, and then I had to do one more audition. And then the next thing I seen, it was on the
credits.
The blog. That's how I found out about it.
Oh, you found out along with the rest of the world that you got the part?
On the blog, I seen it. Somebody sent it to me. It was a picture of me and Meth, and it was like Davies casted for. And I said, oh, shit's lit. Then my people hit me like, yo, we da-da-da, whatever. So that was super, super, super dope. And then I spoke with Meth, and Meth really, you know what I mean, gave me his blessings on the road before I started filming. So that was dope to get to talk with him.
Was that the extent of your connection with Method Man, or did you have to study him for the part, or how did that work out? Or
I ain't really had to study Meth, honestly.
Because you're playing a living person.
Yeah, that's what made it tricky. A lot of times people play people that passed on, so they really can't that person can't tell you like, nah, you messed up. That ain't how it would have been. Like, you know what I mean?
And you want to make him proud too. You don't want him to be like, what the fuck is this?
He that was I grew up to meth, so I knew all them songs.
Mm-hmm. Well, the music, obviously.
I knew that part of it. That was like, oh, I know that song. Like, it would be in the script. I'd be reading it like, oh, I know this.
You would just rap.
I know it already. Like, you feel me? What I had to study was like his mannerisms. Mm-hmm. So I would go on YouTube and just find like mad old interviews. That's
so you studied him on your own.
Yeah, I would sit and watch his interviews, how he would answer questions, and then I would watch that, and I would watch his performances, because Meth was full of energy. Like,
yeah,
you know
he was all over that stage.
All over the stage. So I had to really, that was the two things. I was like, if I could capture both of them, like his mannerisms, how he was talking, and when it come time to us performing, if I could get that off, I'm gonna nail it. You know what I mean?
You know, it was a lot of members. But I remember when I first started watching, I was like, I know Dave East's Method Man, like, because I kept saying like the first few episodes, I'm like, who's who? Oh
yeah, because the way it started, it wasn't
like, it was just so confusing. But you were the only human that I knew who you were the whole time when I first started watching that.
That's fire.
Now you play Method Man. I have this one friend. Mm-hmm. She loves Method Man. She loves Dave East. I'm like, what are the odds that you would get to play like this rapper that like every female wanted, and then you turned out to be also this rapper that like
life is crazy.
A lot of females want.
Life is crazy. That was fire though. Meth is dope, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I love him.
Meth is super dope. Meth somebody I could call whenever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And I love the acting for him.
Yeah.
This is like, it was
he shifted it. Like Meth is somebody that
he's great
even from Belly, like from way back, but he's somebody that showed me early on, like, yo, you can take this rap and jump into that world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it might be a little easier coming from the rap going into that world than it would have been just trying to be an actor without no. You get what I mean?
Yeah, like off the rip.
I feel like that. Like, that's why when I'm on them sets or when I get a script or whatever, I really try to block my rapping out of it, because I feel like you could. People that straight actors that only done did that, you get what I'm saying? They can look at you like, oh, you here because of the rap.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You only
like,
here because you're Dave East.
You popular with the rap. You don't do this.
You didn't go to Juilliard like me.
You get what I mean? So I really like to take that part of it serious. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Is modeling in the cards for you? I feel like it should be.
I should be modeling.
I feel like you've done modeling, right?
Yeah, I've done
Fashion Week?
Yeah, hearing like sporadically, like, it hasn't been like I'm not like a model, like, you know what I'm saying, but I've done different shoots and walks and different brands and different fashion weeks up, you know what I mean? But I think I want to get more into that a little more moving forward.
I feel like you should.
You know what I mean? I'm getting a little older. I feel like
you're still young. Stop
do my model thing now. Or
now, how do you feel about being, the pretty boy? The sex symbol.
Think I'm pretty?
The man, well, the women think you're pretty. The women think you're pretty. I think you're type ugly, but whatever, it is what it is.
Damn.
I'm just fucking with you. Is it annoying? Like the females, like, like the post and like everybody, like all the females thirst and like, oh, you this, you that. Because I read comments, I go through them, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this man. Do you like it? Do you welcome it? Or is it unwanted attention?
Me and my pops had the funniest convo. We said, yo, life is a lot easier when you a little better look. You're a little better.
Listen. Pretty privilege is a fucking thing, okay?
He said life is a little, you know what I mean? Life a little smoother when you're a little attractive. But that don't bother me.
It don't bother you? Because I know some people might be like, oh my God. It's just like, the females, they're right. They're pretty respectful when they see you out.
They try to, some of them. Yeah.
I can imagine a lot of them must try it. Yeah. How's your DMs? They okay?
I don't really. The internet is a tricky place.
It is a very tricky place, but I can see regular ass bitches be like, "Oh, and today I'm gonna wake up and DM Dave East and see what's up. We'll see what's the vibes. He might fall for it."
That's the land of the unknown, land of the lost.
Okay, let's pivot. Fitness. Why is fitness so important to you? Is it because of the way it makes you feel or the way it makes you look?
Both. I feel like men and women, I feel like when you've been in that gym, you feel better for sure, but you like how your clothes, you know what I mean? Like, you like how your T-shirt or you
like to sit down and not have a little belly, right?
Whatever you got going on, like, you feel me? I feel like you like seeing, you working. I feel like it's with anything. You working at something and seeing the results. You get what I mean? So I feel like with fitness, like I told you, I played ball all my life coming in, so I'm an athlete anyway. Like before rap, anything was doing what it did for me. I was an athlete. I was in the gym. I would go run. I did all of that. So I just feel like that's a part of life. I feel like everybody should implement that in their life some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Because movement is just good for you. You know what I mean? If you're sitting around, you ain't really. You know what I mean? That's how I feel like a lot of health problems, especially as you get older. But I feel like a lot of health problems just come from people not moving. You know what I mean? Or not.
That's a fact. If
You
you're
know
not
what I mean?
moving,
If you're sitting around, I feel like a lot of that heart disease and that diabetes, all them different. I feel like that come from. I mean, not saying it all comes from that, but I think a lot of times just working out is better than most medicines. You know what I mean? Just if you get a real consistent schedule working. I see people in the gym. I know they 80 years old. They gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Old people in there got more energy. Than a younger person. So it's like. It's up to the life you choose to live. Some people don't care if they're gonna be here that long. I got kids and I want to be here. If I didn't have kids, I still want to be here. Like, so I feel like that just prolongs your life. You know what I'm saying? Working out, I think it put years on your life.
now what's 2025 going to be like for you? Is there something
We
that
already
you're like?
started. We here already. Now I'm about to go back on tour.
Where you going?
Mid-April
Where
to
you
top of June. All the U.S. for like a month and a half. Hit the road. Yeah.
The girls get to stay home or they get to come with you? They have school, right?
Yeah, they in school.
Oh, they're gonna miss you.
Yeah, but I set it up with this. This is maybe my 4th or 5th tour. I think maybe more, but I think this is my own, like me headlining the whole tour, like 4th or 5th tour. And I put them day offs in this one.
Oh, that's good.
You know what I mean? I kind of
So that you can come back home.
I can slide. You know what I mean? Just so it's not as I'm not as gone for so long. Like, you know what I mean? I haven't done that in a while.
So we're doing the tour.
So
You said you have 2 projects in the works.
I got more than that, but that's about to come out recent, like real soon.
How many projects do you want to put out in 1 year?
I'm gonna keep dropping, man. I'm on my Tupac right now, like put music out. Cause like I always felt like this, like the type of listener I am when I listen to music, you feel me? I be wanting more. Like if I'm a fan of whoever it is, I'll play that for however long I'll play that, but then I'll be wanting more music. I want more music. You know what I mean? So I'll be doing that more for me and the people that really listen to me. You get what I mean? Like that's really fans of what I've been doing. So I just like to put out different sounds. I'll be having different topics. I'm working with different producers. You know what I mean? So all of that becomes 4 or 5 more like different tapes just in the midst of me working. And I love it. I just like staying active. You know what I mean?
Like the Davies fan. If you could give me 3 words to describe who is the Davies fan.
A Davies fan?
Mm-hmm. Is it males? Is it females? Is it New Yorkers? Is it people in Japan? Just give me 3 words that you feel like is your core audience and your followers.
My core followers, 3 words.
Yeah.
Definitely women, definitely men.
Both? Okay. So just people in general?
People. Yeah, I would say people. I don't know no aliens.
They're out there. You don't believe in aliens?
I believe in them.
Oh,
I just don't know nothing.
They might have your albums up in Mars. Don't play.
I don't know. I think they're around for sure though. Let me think. I would say anybody that been through just real life, like just you know what I mean, but when life hit, you know what I mean, if I mean you got your best friend passed on you, or your you know what I mean, your lady left you, or just real life shit. I feel like I speak for that. Like I speak for people that is coming from somewhere trying to get somewhere, like, you know what I mean, from the bottom trying to get to the top. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's vague, but I feel like I speak for those like that ain't just gonna get knocked down and stay down. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna get back up and try to figure it out. I feel like I speak for them. Whether it's male, female, you know what I mean?
Whoever been through some real shit.
Yeah. Those that don't let life, you know what I mean, beat them down. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta fight back. I feel like I speak for them.
It's a boxing match. Now I want to say this. From day one, you've always been about the lyricism, the bars, the craft. You haven't wavered. You ain't become gimmicky. You ain't switch up. You ain't try to do what other people were doing. How hard is that as far as like looking around and just walking your own walk and be like, this is what David East is. This is the essence of who I am.
Right.
Versus the way things have changed with TikTok, with social media. Like, how do you stay grounded? How you be like, this is me and this is gonna be me?
I don't really get caught up in like fads and whatever, like, you know what I mean, like what's trendy for the moment. Cause I feel like the lyricism, all of that type, I feel like everything you just named, I've watched that with my own two eyes, like withstand the test of time. You know what I mean? Like whether you still put on Biggie music today, or if you still put on Jay-Z music, or you put on Nas music from the 90s, you could put that music on right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's still cut right through all of the gimmicks, all of the, you know what I mean? So I said, before I become a gimmicky guy, or you know what I mean, or start trying to do what everybody doing, let me do me. Let me keep my same guys around me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that know me, know the cloth I'm from, and let me just stay on that. Like, you know what I mean? Whether they say I sound like the 90s, or I sound like, you know what I mean? I done heard everything. But that's the music I love. So that's the music I'm gonna make. Now, I'm not against trying other music or doing this feature or that feature or this type of beat. I'm never against that, but I have a brand and a authenticity to me that I gotta just stay with. That I can't really. I think if I did that, it would take from me being me.
And you know what? I respect that. And, I thank you, because when we talk about New York and they talk about New York fell off and this and that, I'm like, nah. Do you see what Dave East does? Do you see the level, of lyricism that this man puts out?
Right.
We need that. We need solid, boots on the ground type rappers. And I feel like when we make those lists of who still got bars, who's still doing real rap, you're on that list.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I take my craft. I like to write. I write. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that is a talent in itself, just writing. But yeah, I think it came from New York. I don't care what nobody say. It definitely moved around, but it came. That's where it came from. So we can't lose that sound totally. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind this one singing or that one doing it. Like, that's dope, because it's a new game. There's always gonna be a young man game. It's always gonna be for the youth or what's coming next. I'll never knock that. But we gotta have some type of feeling of, you know what I mean? Somewhat.
It's gotta feel gritty. It's gotta feel New York.
That part of it can't be deleted.
Ever.
You know what I mean? Like, we gotta sprinkle that somewhere. It gotta be sprinkled in there somewhere. So I feel like if I'm one of those that people, you know what I mean, they feel like I'm one of those that do that, I'm gonna stay on that. Word.
Latinos in hip hop. It's a topic that comes up all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's your take on it? Did you feel like when you were pushing yourself out as an artist, did you feel like you wanted to maybe, just push your Latino side a little to the side, because maybe it wouldn't be as well received if you weren't 100% black?
Nah, I don't think nothing is 100% black.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think everything got a little cut to it, a little something. You gotta check that. What's that family? That lineage shit.
The 23andMe?
Yeah, it's always a cut somewhere. You know what I mean? And I feel like I think I grew up Latinos and blacks is hand in hand. Like,
we're the same.
It never was no.
But it's a conversation.
You know what I mean? It never was like it was a split, or I mean, you always knew of certain shit, like, you know what I mean, whatever. But that's with everybody. Like, that's not. I don't think that's just a black Latino thing. I think that's an everybody thing. But nah, hell no.
You were super forward. Like,
Why not? Look at Pun. Look at God Bless the Dead. It's people like Pun. It was just like, it's fire, man. You gotta just pump who you are. I pump Barbados. I pump DR. I pump Creole. I pump everything that made me. I pump it.
So you're always super proud of every aspect of you.
I don't think that's something that could be used against you. I don't think that's something that that boxes you out. I think it's, you know what I mean? I think it's dope. I think it's flavor. That's how I look at it. It's a little, you know what I mean? A little flavor.
Now, what do you feel about currently the amount of Latinos that are allowed, in rap or to become just megastars? Do you feel
That's
like
dope.
Do you feel like we are where we need to be?
I think so, for sure. I think it's definitely it go hand in hand with hip hop. You got whole reggaeton albums, and you got these artists that's doing collabs with rappers, and you know what I mean. So I feel like it's definitely like at the forefront.
We're all
as far
one.
as the sound.
I feel like we're all one, but there is the conversation, and it's like I felt like I wonder when Dave came out, like if he was really like forthright, like I'm Dominican too. You know what I'm saying? Like
it ain't nothing. Why shy away from it if it's gonna come out?
It happens sometimes.
You know what I mean? And they be like, why you ain't say that? Or
come on, why you ain't representing the Dominicans? And we come hard on motherfuckers that don't want to rep that flag.
I rep all of what made me. I feel like that's my, that's my heritage, my roots, my family. So at the end of the day,
your daughters are Latinas too?
I gotta rep. Yeah, their mother is Puerto Rican. So yeah.
Una boricua.
Yeah, boricua.
You like problems, huh? Nah. I'm just joking.
Man.
I love boricua.
The hair, good. Yeah, the hair, but nah. They yeah, I feel like that's something that should never be frowned upon or nothing like that. Like, you know what I mean? Wave that flag.
I enjoyed our conversation. I feel like I got to know you so much more.
Me too. This was dope.
Gracias. Come again.
Thank you, mama.